Am I
Yes.
audible, sir?
Yes, please start.
Okay. Greetings to all. BSK Legal, a very renowned and reputed law firm dealing in insurance law, commercial criminal arbitration, and many other legal fields, is proud to organize this webinar on the topic Legal Career in Insurance Industry. For this session, we have with us our esteemed guest, Mr. Anurag Shukla, who has worked as DGM with Asset Reconstruction Company Limited, Arcil. Arcil was the first securitization and asset reconstruction company to be set up under the SARFAESI Act 2002 for acquisition and resolution of non-profit organizations of non-performing assets of various banks and financial institutions. He's working as the head at legal at Kotak Life Insurance Company, and currently he's also supervising the legal affairs of Kotak mutual funds as well as an additional portfolio. At last, we have with us our learned advocate, Mr. Sanjay K Chadha, who is the founding and managing partner in the litigation and arbitration compliance BSK Legal. Under his supervision at present, the firm is successfully handling cases in over 614 districts throughout India. He is also renowned and well-established face in various media channels. Sir, you can kindly take over.
Thank you very much, Bhumika. And first and foremost, I would like to welcome uh, my brother and a great legal luminary, from my college only, Campus Law Center, Mr. Anurag Shukla, who is heading uh, Kotak Mahindra. And during his regime, which I have seen, the company has performed wonderful. Lot of legal, methodologies have changed, and quite in good way he has handled it. So I wanted to congratulate you also, sir, for that. I never get this opportunity to say so. So I thought this is a wonderful opportunity for me to say so. I would just, for the many of our attendees today in the webinar are law students, and for their information, for their own uh, consumption, I wanted to say that now this field has become very big. Insurance per se has become very, very important. If we talk about the insurance, the scope of legal people, legal lawyers in the insurance sector has really now grown very, very much. We all know that in the year 1999, IRDA Act was passed, and by virtue of this Act, in somewhere around 2000 or so, the entire insurance sector was also deregularized. Earlier, we know in life insurance we used to have only one LIC. Now it has changed, and now so many private players, not only from India but also from abroad, have taken part. FDI, initially it was 24 or 26%, which has now increased later on, which was increased to 50% or 49%, whatever. But that is there. And all the major international players in the field of insurance are now in India, as well as with their Indian partners, catering the needs of Indian market. Now, to be very, very coming to the point, because we are going to talk about the career in the insurance field, I want to communicate through this 10-minute or 15-minute of my words, I wanted to say that insurance per se has grown very, very much, and it is growing every day. If I may ask myself, how many insurance companies are there? The answer would be there are about 24 life insurance companies right now, plus one LIC. There are about 34 non-life insurance companies which are there. And if, as I mentioned the other day also, there are more than 17.50 crore insurance policies are sold every year in this country, in my country. So that means that number of consumers are related. So if we see how big the interaction these companies have to do, you please appreciate such a large number of customer base. It is very rare in any other field, except, you can find such base in banking sector also. So many consumers are there in that sector. So insurance, and if we compare it on the other hand, we'll see a very less number of population is now insured. Despite that, the number of insurance policies are about 17.50 crore policies are sold in this country. And the number is growing. It is on the path of growth. So that number of consumers. So in case of any disputes, consumer disputes are there. So that is where they take help of the lawyers, the insurance companies, one sector. Now, I told you about 24 insurance companies, life insurance companies, 48 non-life insurance companies. Other than that, we can have, earlier there was a restriction. Now the reinsurance companies have also come to the country, in our country. Other than then, if we go into inside these companies, we will find that brokers are there, insurance brokers. I need not to elaborate it. Why I'm saying that a large number of section of people, number of participation of people are there. Brokers are there, agents are there. Earlier we used to call them agents. Now we call them advisors. In the private sector, we call them advisors. These insurance companies have thousands of employees. So employee-related litigation can be seen. Surveyors are there. So all such a chunk of people are involved. And when a large number of people are involved, there are chances that litigation will be there. So that is another field of where we see that large number of cases are found in the insurance companies, insurance sector, if may I say. So litigation is one sector where large number of cases are there, which are being, where all the lawyers are needed. If I may, once again, I have said so before also, we have seen that this is a sector where large number of frauds also take place. Individual people also do some frauds, because very easy money. You take an insurance of 20 lakh rupees, pay a premium of, let's say, 15,000-20,000 rupees, and if you get some opportunity, you will get such a big amount, 20 lakh rupees comes to you. So such an easy money for these fraudulent people. So many frauds are there. If I may give the quantum of these frauds, the quantum is somewhere around 45,000 crore per year. You Google it, you can very well find it. Other than that, if we talk about more litigation, you have got, these all companies have offices pan-India, all across. So the property related, they will take properties on rent to open their office. So property related, they need to do the due diligence before taking any property on rent. They develop rent, tenant, landlord dispute, and so on and so forth. Such disputes are also there. Employee-related dispute, I told you. In life, we discussed the other day that there are a large number of cases where people don't disclose their information, and later on non-disclosure of important information cause this kind of litigation. So summing up, that a large number of litigation work is there for the lawyers, number one. Number two, these companies have their own in-house lawyers. I know in one company, more than 20, 30, they have their own legal departments. Not only that, these companies enter into various agreements. So when they do any agreement, so these lawyers will help them. They have to go and appear before Insurance Ombudsmen. There they need the lawyers to prepare. So a lot of documentation is also. So coming back to each time I'm coming back to one point, that is this insurance companies, this insurance sectors required huge number of lawyers every year. And this is a very, very big, if you Google right now, how big is the insurance sector, you will be surprised. That kind of big premium is paid by the people at large for in this sector. So this is a broad broad khaka, as I can say, I have given you, that this sector really needs lot of good lawyers, lot of entrepreneurs who really work hard, and they will get. And not only this, I've seen, the people, lawyers joining at legal manager have reached to the stage of uh, directors in the company, and to even to the extent of MD in the insurance companies. So hard work always pays. That's what is my I always say. So great scope is there for the lawyers, and every year these companies also hire. They have their own risk department where also lawyers are needed. So who better will explain to us that what is the demand of lawyers and what kind of scenario is there in the industry from one of the top insurance companies of this country, Kotak Mahindra Life Insurance, and their legal head, and who is now taking care of many other portfolios also. Who better than Mr. Shukla will tell us about it? I would request Mr. Shukla to guide. So many students are there, so many lawyers are also there who are very keen to come and work in the field of insurance. So please guide us. Thank you very much, and warm welcome from the side of all the participants, also from the side of BSK Legal.
Sanjay ji, thanks a lot for a warm welcome and your kind introduction. I must tell something about you first, that although when we selected this topic and you told me that I have to speak on careers, a legal career in insurance sector, the first thing that came to my mind that yes, legal persons or the law graduates as employees of insurance company. So in my slides, actually, I have confined myself to this area only. But I must start with saying that apart from the legal employees who are working in insurance sector, in fact, a very big opportunity lies even in practice sector.
Yes.
The kind of practice that you have adopted, Mr. Sanjay Chadha has adopted, and several advocates, I mean, in this country. And the demand is so high, the volume is so high, that one law firm, one advocate cannot handle everything. In fact, even 100 law firms will fall short of meeting the expectation, meeting the needs of the insurance industry. And this industry is the second largest litigant in the entire country, next only to the banking sector. Banks are the biggest litigant, and insurance is the second biggest litigant. So, of course, it is all there for law graduates. So I'll share one slide also. I've prepared it for this particular purpose. Is it visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, absolutely. Perfectly.
So first of all, I'll tell you that as Sanjay ji is aware that I was not well for last 2-3 days, and please excuse me if I have some trouble during the presentation also. Please bear with me. Yeah.
Thank you very much. But I remember I wanted to tell this to all my audience today, that when I spoke to sir in the morning asking about his health, what Mr. Shukla said, that look, commitment is commitment. So this is what is the spirit I request all of you to please adopt this. Commitment is commitment, he said. And whatever might be the situation, I said, we will summarize it, we will shorten your, no, I will do it full. That's what Mr. Shukla said. I'm sorry. This was very necessary because we are talking to these budding lawyers, the coming generation. They should know that commitment certainly means commitment.
These are the basic things which we have to adopt in our lives. So first is the disclaimer that the entire presentation is my personal views, nothing to do with my employers, Kotak Mahindra or any other entity. I think Sanjay ji has given some idea that what is insurance. Am I audible clearly?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Thanks. So it is essentially a contract, and everybody attending this webinar must be aware that what is a contract under Indian Contract Act. But it is a special kind of contract, that's all. And the biggest difference is that all the contracts are governed by Indian Contract Act, but insurance contracts are governed also by the provisions of Insurance Act, which goes much beyond the provisions of Contract Act. And in that sense, if you remember correctly, that wherever a special law is there covering any sector, then special act will prevail over the general act. So this is how insurance contracts are also to be seen. So the fundamentals are the same, whatever are ingrained in the Indian Contract Act, but yes, it travels much beyond that. So insurance contract is something where for a specified consideration, one party undertakes to compensate the other for a loss relating to a particular subject as a result of the occurrence of a designated hazards. Slightly technical. Come to the next one. A promise of compensation for a specific potential future losses in exchange for a periodic payment. So periodic payment is your premium or premium that you pay to the insurance company, and a promise of compensation, that means the claim that the insurance company will pay to you or to your nominee if a specified event takes place. Then the last one, a risk transfer mechanism that ensures full or partial financial compensation for the loss or damage caused by events beyond the control of the insured party. Now I'll explain it further. Only 2 slides I have kept on the basics because may not be the core of today's discussion, but still this is very important to understand. How does insurance work? So it is something to do with the concept of ownership of property. Ownership of property means if you have an asset and it loses value by loss or destruction due to certain event, the owner suffers loss. So if you have a car and it meets with an accident, then your asset, that is the car, loses its value, for which you can seek compensation from the insurance company. Why? Because you have entered into a contract for which you are paying the premium. Then why the insurance company and is paying that compensation or the claim when you are paying only a small amount? You are paying maybe some 3,000-4,000 rupees as premium, whereas the insurance company is agreeing to pay you 5 lakhs or 6 lakhs rupees of compensation if you bang your vehicle against some other vehicle or some pole or some wall. Of course, contributory negligence is something which we are ignoring for the time being. But for a 5,000 rupees of premium, you are expecting insurance company to pay you 5 lakhs or 6 lakhs of compensation. From where they are doing that? I mean, they do not mint the money. They are not RBI who can print money. They have to take it from somewhere. So it works on a principle of common fund. That is a fund made of a small contribution from many such owners. Many such vehicle owners contribute to a common fund, and then from out of that fund, compensation is paid to the unfortunate owners who suffered loss. So it is pooling of risk. So all the vehicle owners pool their risk by paying small premium to the insurance company, and whosoever is unfortunate to have suffered loss, insurance company will pay compensation to that unfortunate owner from out of that entire pool. This is the core of the insurance sector or insurance industry. And same formula, same principle applies to life insurance as well. Because human life also has some value. Value for your family. You may not have that value because if you die, then you are no more there. But your family is still there. So your family has a value, or it has seen value in your life, because you may be the breadwinner for the family. If you die, then family will suffer loss, which can be compensated to the extent of the sum assured that you may have chosen from the insurance company. This is how the insurance works. Now, since so many people are involved, so much of complex financial transactions are involved, lawyers are needed because litigations will arise. Now, litigations not only refers to the litigation when something actually happens, some dispute arises. It includes the pre-litigation or transaction documents on the basis of which you can ultimately fight your litigation. Because it is one and the same string. You enter into a transaction by entering into a contract, and if something goes wrong, some dispute arises, then on the basis of those very transaction documents, you can fight a litigation. So I see in one single string. Now, what are the features of insurance products? I have kept a very simple slide. So I have split it in three parts: life insurance, general insurance, and health insurance. I have not given the further bifurcation of general insurance because that is very wide. Life insurance is relatively simpler. It has got three types of products: term life, traditional investments, and unit linked. Now, what are the features of these three products? Life cover or risk cover is present in all the insurance products. But if you go to the next column or next two columns, you will find that return on investment and linkage to capital market is missing in general insurance and health insurance, because that is confined to the risk cover alone. Whereas in life insurance products, some element of investment is also there, and that also gives rise to several disputes. Now, coming to the next segment of this presentation. Mr. Chadha has given some idea that yes, what actually happened towards 1999, 2000, IRDA Act was made. Then Insurance Act was also overhauled. It was amended. It is not a simple amendment. It was almost overhauled. In 2014, also major amendments took place in the Insurance Act. Now, if you find that from 1912 onwards, there are several legislations, and you may recall that some 10, 15 years back, there was much hue and cry about mis-selling in this industry. And that was a big challenge for the insurance industry as a whole, because mis-selling was rampant with respect to basically unit-linked products and other investment products. But still, the government, although they took some action to prevent it, but it never came heavily on the insurance industry. So some sort of government backing has always been there for this sector, for this industry. Now, you may recall that till 2000, in life insurance sector, only one company was there in India, that was LIC, Life Insurance Corporation. Now, so long as Life Insurance Corporation was there, having a monopoly over life insurance industry, it was quite understandable that government was putting its weight behind life insurance sector, because the company which was running it was very much its own child. 100% equity in life insurance corporation was of Government of India. But what happened post 2000 was deregulation of or opening up of insurance industry, particularly life insurance industry, where 23 life insurance companies came into place. But still, the government continued with this commitment to foster to augment the life insurance industry. Now, what is government's interest in life insurance industry? You may be thinking about it. So let us see that what is government's interest in life insurance? When I put this question to one of the audience in one college, actually I got few answers. And most of the answers, since it is very difficult to interact with all of you in this format of presentation, so I cannot expect answers. But most of the answers which I have got in past, they say that government is a beneficial government. It looks for the benefit of the people at large, the citizen of India. So since the penetration of life insurance industry is hardly 4%, not even 4% in India, that is why the government's intention is to promote this industry to further penetrate into the hinterland of India, so that more and more people have life insurance. Understand that, yes, we all understand that this is one of the objective of the government. But is that the only concern? Just think of this second part, that is investments. Equity, government debt instruments, infrastructure, mandatory business in rural sector. Now what happens that when you talk of investment, what kind of investment we are talking of? It is the investment of the same premium or premia that is collected from the people, that is the policy holders, to create that fund, the same fund which we talked of, the common pool. Now, common pool, if you collect the premium and put it in your saving bank account or current bank account, then what will happen? That it will not grow. The money will not grow. So the return that is going to the people will be very limited, or there will be no return at all. So investment is one of the prime objectives or prime function of any insurance company. Now you will find it in the next very small data I have given. In 2014, all the life insurers together held nearly 20 lakh crores, which Sanjay ji was referring to, that huge money we are collecting as premium, which touched 25 lakh crore in 2016 and 35 lakh crore in 2019. It's a huge money. 35 lakh crore is not a mean amount. Now coming back to my original question, that what is government's interest in life insurance? You'll find, I'm sorry, I think I missed one slide. I'll explain that. In insurance regulations, what they have done, that in Insurance Act only, they have mandated that of all the monies held by the insurance companies, 50% of that amount has to be invested back in government bonds. 50%. So that means 50% of 35 lakh crore. I mean, just remove the equity part, which you can, unit-linked policies, which you can invest in market. Rest of the amount, 50% you will have to invest back in the government bonds. Then what else? Infrastructure. 15% of that money has to be invested compulsorily in infrastructure projects. Whose duty it is to maintain infrastructure in India? Definitely government. So 15% of your money is going into that sector. That means insurance industry is doing some sort of public function also, because a large chunk of your premium is going back to the government, and it is helping government promote various schemes that is being promulgated by them from time to time. So we are actually aiding them, and that is why government is keen to consistently promote insurance sector so that they have a steady stream of money flowing into their coffers. So it is just not protection of people. It is one of the objectives, but I feel that the prime objective lies somewhere else, that is the money matters. Now, I'll tell you something about the stability of this industry. I'm referring to the very recent COVID developments. What happened to the Sensex or share market? How did it behave? When COVID-19 spread in India towards third week of March, you'll find here that it really plummeted here in. Are you able to see my cursor also? Yeah. So this is the time when share markets actually plummeted completely. And then it took time.
13th of March.
13th, but 23rd March. 23rd March to be precise. Yeah. So from 13 it started coming down. 23rd was the doom day.
Yes, yes.
Now, it took time to really come to terms. This part, actually, you will see that not much gain was made by the Sensex. Sensex means entire share market.
Correct.
But contrary to that, you will find that something else was happening. Just see, the market is not coming up really, but the curve is very steep with respect to general insurance and to a great extent even life insurance. And even after that, it maintained its high growth. It has maintained its high growth. Now here, the Sensex was very recently, Sensex has come beyond or has gone beyond 40,000. But it was struggling. Insurance industry was not struggling. Why? Because this is something which is so important in your life. In fact, people understood the importance of insurance in Corona times. When they saw that, yes, they were so vulnerable towards these things in their life that they can lose life because of such calamities, such pandemics, then people in fact went for buying more and more insurance. And this industry is going to stay. That is the only comfort I wanted to give to all of you, because you are or we are discussing legal career in life or in insurance industry. So first of all, you must know that how stable industry this is. Now coming to the various components of insurance business. If you compare insurance business with a car, slightly awkward, Sanjay, you will find that why I am comparing insurance industry with a car. Car has got several components. These are the components. If I put a question to you, all of you, that which is the most prominent or most important component in a car, I don't know what answer we will get. Whether it is wheel, whether it is engine, whether it is steering wheel, whether it is gearbox or gears, whether it is brakes. People who know driving, they must know that on the right hand side you will find brake. So, which is the most important part of a vehicle? So, I know that several people will give different answers, different people will give different answers. And of course, most of you must be correct also. But in fact, the net summary is that without any of these, you cannot drive a car. So all are important. But there is one component, perhaps, that doesn't hit our mind very easily. Headlights. You can argue that headlight is not so important because you can drive a car without headlight. Yes, you can drive a car, but only during the day, not during the night times, when there is darkness. So I compare legal department as the headlines. So generally legal department will not be called for by any department, but yes, they will come running to you the moment they face any challenge. So any challenge means they have come into darkness, they don't know what to do because they have faced a legal issue. Then you come to the center stage and then you start driving it and people will follow you. This is how we have to understand the role of legal department. Now, this slide will appear to be a very simple slide, that legal department can be split into three parts, three functions: litigation, contract management, and advisory. But there is much more to it, much more. I'll start with litigation because this is where the bulk remains, bulk lies, volume lies. Litigation has got several components again. There are consumer cases, there are MSET cases for vehicle insurance, there are ombudsman cases, lok adalats, and there are legal notices also which we club with the litigation. Now, if we talk of consumer cases, this is the snapshot of the consumer disputes in India. Since inception, we have disposed of close to 50 lakhs, 48 lakhs cases on consumer side. But what is interesting is that even now we have cases somewhere around 4,88,000 cases pending in various consumer forums. So district forum has become now district commission. But yes, 4,88,000 cases are there, and out of that 3,42,000 are in district commissions. Now I'm pretty sure that out of this 3,42,000, at least 25 to 30% must belong to insurance industry. That is my gut feel. There is no official data available. I had tried to search a few months back also. There is no authentic data available anywhere, which can actually give you the exact number. But yes, by our experience, going by our gut feel, we know that 25 to 30% belongs to insurance industry. Huge volume. So consumer cases are applicable to both. Both means whether it is general insurance, health insurance, whether it is life insurance, all put together, huge volume lies there. But the biggest volume lies in the next heading, MSET. Now, this is not very pleasant to see this data. Whenever I see this, actually, I get disturbed. That roughly 4 to 5 lakhs road accidents occur every year in this country. And it is a common knowledge that third-party insurance is mandatory for all the vehicles. It is mandatory. So, if you do a very basic calculation that if 5 lakhs accidents are taking place, then at least 3 to 4 lakhs cases must also be involving some or the other third-party damage. Huge volume. And wherever there is a third-party loss, insurance company will come in picture, and many of these cases actually land up in courts. Because you will appoint your own surveyors, we will appoint our surveyors, surveyors will give report, there will be contributory negligence, people will not be happy with the decision of the insurance companies, they will land up in litigation. So huge volume actually of litigation in insurance industry comes from this area. Then comes ombudsman. You may be aware that there are Insurance Ombudsmen Regulation 2017, which is there in place. Prior to that also, some sort of statutory support was given to the institution of ombudsman. And a good number of cases, if you find that total outstanding cases as of the end of 2019, financial year 2019, there were 11,000 outstanding cases before the ombudsman. Now, interesting thing about Ombudsman institution is that you cannot appoint lawyers to fight your cases before Ombudsman. So, most of the times, it is the legal team members who end up arguing their cases before the Ombudsman on behalf of the insurance company. So, this is a very good opportunity for the lawyers working within the insurance company as employees to appear in a quasi-judicial authority, that is a tribunal sort of thing, insurance ombudsman. So this gives a lot of exposure. Actually, I've seen in my team also, people are very happy appearing for the insurance company and arguing their own cases. That really gives a satisfaction. Then comes Lok Adalat. So although it is coming since 1987, that is, I'm talking of Lok Adalat, I'm talking of basically permanent Lok Adalats for public utility services, of which insurance is a part, and many of the insurance cases are nowadays going to Lok Adalats. And I'm really sorry to note that Lok Adalats are really ill-equipped to handle complex insurance-related cases. But still, the irony is that these Lok Adalats do not accept this fact and go ahead with determination or adjudication of even complex disputes relating to the insurance industry. We have tried our best to persuade them not to take up these cases, but still we have almost failed. And in few cases, even Supreme Court has held that yes, they have the power to decide the dispute. The Lok Adalats are not only the settlement platform, they are actually deciding the disputes. So this is one area, and there also you can see that roughly 1 lakh cases, 92,000 precise, cases were received during the year 2019. So that also is a good volume, and there also many
Sir,
insurance companies.
may I interrupt here?
Yeah.
There are 2-3 messages regularly I have received.
Mm-hmm.
Please elaborate something about ombudsman, and also there is people are asking whether the judgment of Lokpal and ombudsman, Lok Adalat and ombudsman are enforceable. That's what the queries are coming. I thought I'll just ask.
I think I must thank those persons who have raised this question, because that will give me an opportunity to explain that, which is really important to know.
Sir, they were important because you were discussing it right now. I thought I will ask.
Yeah. No,
Otherwise, at
thanks,
the end of the session, we can ask.
No, thanks for pointing it out.
All right.
So again, I'll call it an irony for insurance companies or insurance sector. That very unique feature that they have introduced in Insurance Regulation 2017 and even prior to that is that insurance companies cannot challenge, or there is no appellate mechanism against any award passed by the insurance ombudsman. But on the contrary, in all their awards, they say that if the customer is not satisfied with the award, he can approach the judicial forum. Just see this very, very peculiar circumstance that we find ourselves in. So if we have to challenge any ombudsman award, we have to invoke the writ jurisdiction of a high court. I mean, it is very difficult for insurance cases where some award has been passed in favor of a customer, and there is no alternate remedy provided in the form of appeal. The high courts are also not very keen to interfere. Very reluctant
to interfere.
And practically speaking, I have hardly seen any award coming, any writ judgment coming in favor of the insurance company. So it is very, very remote possibility. So ultimately, we end up complying with the award passed by the insurance ombudsman. And many a times, insurance ombudsmen, of course, they are very senior people. They are appointed from, generally they are retired bureaucrats, IAS officials, retired judges, people from LIC, very senior people from LIC. They are there. So many a times what happens that they decide not on the basis of your document, not on the basis of the technical documents like policy contract or insurance regulation, they generally take a sympathetic view, and out of their generosity, because of their seniority in their life and their position held by them in past, they go with the contention of the customer, saying that insurance company is capable enough to, withstand all these things. But yes, he is a poor customer, he should be given relief. So even when on the document you are strong enough to contest the case in a court of law, you end up losing the case before the ombudsman. And we have no option but to comply with the award. Now, same thing happens in Lok Adalat. Very unique feature that in Lok Adalat also, there is no appeal prescribed against the Lok Adalat award. And the only remedy available to us is to invoke the writ jurisdiction. I mean, this makes our task so difficult that initially we tried approaching high courts, but since we did not get much success there, we have almost stopped challenging it. Almost stopped. But yes, in few cases where it is very glaring mistake is there, very glaring injustice we find, we do go there. So this is how it is modeled, I'll say. So industry is against, the regulations are against insurance industry. The courts are many a times behave as if they are against the insurance industry. So it happens. I mean, and this is the challenge that we always find ourselves into. And that really makes our task more and more challenging, because you cannot afford to make mistakes. Margin of error is very small. You are getting only one forum, ombudsman, Lok Adalat, and you have to convince that forum only. You will, knowing fully well that you will not get a second chance in the form of an appeal, which fortunately we are getting in consumer forum. So customers are also smart. They are going away from consumer cases. They are preferring to go to Lok Adalat, knowing fully well that after Lok Adalat also, after Lok Adalat, insurance company will not have any remedy. So this is the irony that we are living with. Legal notices is a pre-litigation stage. I'm proceeding further, Sanjay ji.
Please,
Yeah.
please.
So legal notices, it is a very good opportunity for any legal team in any insurance company to look into a potential litigation, or to apprehend that yes, a future litigation is coming your way because the customer has approached a lawyer has given you a notice. So be sure that yes, the next step will be that a case will be filed against you. So what we do, that we examine the case, the facts of the case, merit of the case at this very stage. And if there are chances that yes, we can lose the case, we try to settle the cases, and we generally try to prevent future litigation. This is one of our main function. Now, this part of the litigation was with respect to customer, that means retail litigation. The next part comes as a corporate litigation. Corporate litigation also, that pertaining to premises, what we lease out. So any mid-level insurance company or definitely will have at least 200 branches in India. So from 2,000 to 200, 250 branches up to maybe more than 1,000 branches insurance companies have. So premises related disputes keep coming. Then IPR related disputes keep coming. Criminal cases in many of the parts of this country are breeding ground for criminal cases. Generally courts accept even criminal complaints. Police can lodge FIR against the company. So these also are the cases where you will have to be very alert. Then statutory notices where your enforcement directorate, income tax authorities, your police departments, CBI, they issue notice to you seeking details with respect to a customer of yours who may have invested in insurance policy. So you may be interested in knowing that what kind of, what is this structure? So I'll tell you that we have seen in many notices, we have received under Prevention of Corruption Act. Means high-level government authorities or officials, they are investigated for prevention of corruption by corrupt practices of those officials, and it is found that they had invested in or invested large amounts in insurance policies of several insurance companies. So this is the way we keep getting notices, and we have to respond to that. Then we have vendor disputes, which is very common for all the companies, all the institutions. Then comes HR, labor cases, and a new area has been added, that is prevention of sexual harassment in at workplace. So this is also a new area where a lot of our time goes into understanding the cases, then what kind of litigation that may arise. Many of the cases land up before National Commission for Women, State Commission for Women. We represent our company before these commissions also. And of course, labor cases, HR cases are very routine for any company of good size. Now, the next area is also very important. So, as I told you that the bulk of legal department actually handles litigation, because these are really voluminous and a lot of manpower is required to handle litigation for insurance companies, especially MSCT. Many people are employed handling MSCT cases. Now, contract management actually employs a very small number of people, but yes, this is a very interesting area, and it is ever expanding. And in last 5 or 6 years, I have noticed that this area really requires lot of attention from the lawyers. Now, in contract management, specific to the insurance industry, the first thing I'll talk about policy contracts. So all the policy contracts which you get as a customer from the insurance companies are basically designed by the lawyers, legal department. And I'm talking mainly of life insurance industry, not so much about general insurance, because general insurance contracts are generally prepared by their underwriting team, not by the legal team. In insurance industry, it is some other way around. I have tried to explain that with the help of this slide, life cycle of an insurance product, how a product is launched, an insurance product is launched. It is a fairly complex process. You may not be able to understand from outside world that how complex insurance products are. Now, why these are, and I'm talking of, this slide is specific to life insurance. So please don't confuse that with the general insurance products. The biggest difference between a life insurance contract and a general insurance contract is the tenure. A life insurance contract is generally for a minimum period of 20 years. And it goes up to 30 years and even 40 years. So only one single contract will be there in place, and it will be effective for 40 years. General insurance contracts are annually renewable, generally. So these are small contracts, and not much changes are there. But life insurance contracts are really long-term contracts. And you have to think through it, because once you have issued the contract, you are bound by it for next 30, 40 years. So before an insurance product is launched, actually much of the groundwork goes into that. So it is conceptualized first, then that is done by product team, actuarial team, very specialized team members are there. Then comes the approval. Approval means there is an F&U document, that is file and use document. I will not go into much detail about that. And then the product specifications, and then legal team prepares the policy contract. And all the documents are sent to IRDAI, the regulator, in advance. And you can launch the product only if IRDAI clears your product as well as your documents. So product brochure, which will be given to the customers, policy contracts, which will be given to the customers, everything is approved specifically by IRDAI. That is why the role of legal becomes very important in preparation of the insurance product. Then comes supplier contracts. Supplier contracts means your vendors. And this is true for all the companies, whether it is insurance company, whether it is some other company, FMCG company, anything. Supplier contracts are always there. And you have to be very good at drafting skills. Then only you can prepare a good supplier contracts. Then nowadays, lot of IT contracts are coming our way. Lot of IT contracts. Why? Because lot of developments have taken place in the field of information technology. Every day, newer things are coming to our way. Newer technologies are coming. We have to understand the business implication of all these contracts. Then only we are able to justify the legal language of that. Unless and until you understand the business, you cannot draft a contract. That is my message to all of you, especially the young lawyers, that when you enter a company like this in the legal department and you take up any drafting, you have to first understand the kind of business and the kind of business activity for which the document is being prepared. So this is a very difficult task, I'll tell you. Then you have IPR contracts, deed of assignments, licenses. If you have to develop an advertisement, if you have to hire some celebrity like some film star to advertise for your insurance company, then that requires a lot of behind the scene activities, especially from legal point of view. And they also have a big legal team behind them. So you have to negotiate and you have to settle the contracts. Then comes intermediary contracts. Intermediary contracts are important because insurance industry are dependent on the distribution network. It is a huge distribution network because crores of policies are sold. Both the segments together, both means all the three segments put together: life insurance, general insurance, and health insurance. Crores of policies are sold. Now, these crores of policies are sold not on their own. These require huge distribution network who will sell your policies. Now, all the contracts with, extremely sorry, I think I have missed something here.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I think.
Back. Yes.
So I think I have missed some link here. So anyway, so I'll tell you that when we talk of intermediate contracts, it is not only about understanding the business and entering into a negotiation with your corporate agents, your brokers, your agents. You have to be very thorough with the IRDA regulations also. Although compliance is not your cup of tea because compliance is a separate department. But when you are preparing a document, especially intermediary contracts, IRDA has prescribed a separate regulation for each one of these. So IRDA has prescribed a separate regulation for corporate agents, separate regulation for brokers, separate regulation for web aggregators, insurance marketing firms. Unless and until you know about all these regulations, you will not be able to prepare the document without any error. You have to understand the regulation, you have to understand the business logic. Then only you can prepare the documents. Then payment gateway contracts, very, very interesting area. Payment gateway means your bill desk. So bill desk is very common. I'm just naming it. There are several payment gateways with whom you have to enter into contracts so that customer can pay premium from different means. Unless and until you are present in all the fields, you will not be able to accept the premium from all the methods. Contracts for various specialized banking services, custodian services, escrow agreements, these are very specialized ones. And at times we need to enter into such agreements, and that is also taken care of by the legal team. Now coming to investment documents, this is a very niche segment, I'll tell you. Now, I talked about investment right in the beginning that you are bound to invest in government securities. But yes, you get some window, some 30-35% of window to make investments in other instruments also, so that you get good return and you can give good returns to your customers who are your policyholders. And simultaneously, good return on your investment actually keeps you solvent enough to honor your commitments year on year. I'll just pause here just to allow you to digest this. See, you have entered into an insurance contract with a person saying that I'm issuing a policy for next 40 years to you, if you die, I'll pay 1 crore rupees to your family. You pay me 10,000 rupees of annual premium. Now, that fellow keeps on paying 10,000 rupees of premium. But if something happens to him after 20 years, and after 20 years, your company is not sound enough financially to honor that commitment, what will happen to that policy contract? Are you getting it?
Yeah,
So,
I would
so
like to mention here, the pain and agony the family will suffer.
definitely,
These
definitely.
5 banks which recently we have seen,
Yes, definitely.
the
Yeah.
Lakshmi Vilas Bank. What happened to those shareholders? What happened to the bank account holders, the employees? This is very, very important, very critical.
So that is why IRDA is very specific about solvency of all the insurance companies in India. And that is why they are very particular about the way you invest. And all the investment documents are to be prepared by ultimately legal department. And for that, you have to understand the investment logic, investment requirements, and then you have to read the regulations, and then you can enter into the particular transaction. Now, I'll mention about derivative transaction. That was unheard of in insurance industry, say even 4 or 5 years back. But now IRDA has allowed insurance companies to enter into derivative transactions, where you hedge your future income against the interest rate changes in the country. So you block a particular rate of interest for next 10, 15, 20 years, because you are not sure whether the interest rate will remain at this level or it will go down. If you compare our country with Western countries, in several European countries, the rate of interest is 2%, 1%. Few countries actually it has gone in negative. If you want to keep money in your bank, you will have to pay for that. You will not get any interest. So if that happens, that happens in India, what will the insurance companies do? So that is why to maintain their solvency, to so that they are able to honor their commitment even after 40 years, they have to enter into derivative transactions. We are also allowed to give loans in very rare circumstances. We can actually invest in real estate deals. Many insurance companies have chosen to enter into real estate deals. That means purchasing a property, say 100 crores, 200, 500 crores of worth of property for rental income, because that is a return on the income. So this is how we keep our money or keep our eggs in different baskets, so that if one fails, at least other avenues can keep giving me returns, so that I am able to honor my commitment. This is how it works. So this is about contract management. So we have covered, I'll go again. So we have covered litigation, we have covered contract management. Now, very small thing on advisory. So advisory is also, I find it to be the most interesting part of my job role. I can tell you. That is my experience. And many of my colleagues also may share the same thing. Because in advisory function, you don't know what is coming your way next minute. You don't know. And any legal query can be thrown on you any day, any points in time, and you will be required to provide your opinion. You don't have time to go to external lawyer like Mr. Sanjay Chadha for an opinion. You have to do it then and there. So we actually put all our efforts together, we make research, and we provide opinion to our management on an immediate basis, many times. So advisory can be of two types, strategic and transactional. Strategic means corporate actions, merger acquisitions, which happen very rarely. So you cannot keep it as a very common thing in insurance industry. Very rare mergers and acquisitions happen. But yes, if that happens, legal team will get involved. Legal opinions to board or senior management, strategic guidance to management on new developments. That, like new Consumer Protection Act came, we had to make a presentation to the management. Similar things. Then transactional. So as I told you earlier also, our objective is to minimize the litigation. Our objective is not to maximize the litigation. So how to minimize the litigation? That by early resolution of the potential legal issues. So first you have to identify that yes, one case can come from this issue and you can resolve that then and there before coming to the court of law. Then opinions on underwriting and claim applications. So I can tell you one thing about, good thing about few of the insurance companies, including ourselves, that in generally claims are handled by claims department. They can pay the claim, but the moment they want to reject the claim, to repudiate the claim, they have to take the concurrence of legal department. Now you can think that how difficult it is for them to repudiate the claim. It is not easy. I'm going absolutely against the common perception that insurance companies do not pay the claim. No, sorry. We are here to pay the claim. I can really vouch for that. And I take pride in saying that every case, wherever claims department intends to repudiate a claim, they will take our concurrence and then only they can repudiate it. Because we have to see that whether we will be able to stand in a court of law. If you don't have any evidence, let us pay the claim. And pre-litigation and post-litigation opinions on functional teams. That is. Now coming to one area which many of you may be interested in knowing. Who are the major employers in insurance industry? So I have kept it in two segments, primary and secondary employers. Primary employers are the insurance companies who are licensed to carry on insurance business in India. So life and general put together, very few companies are there, not many, but they control the volume. They really control the volume. So in life insurance company, only one public sector, that is LIC, 23 are in private sector. In public sector also only 4 are in public sector. In general insurance, private sector, 30 insurance companies are there. Now, all these 30 plus 23, that is 53 insurance companies hire good number of lawyers. Not only hire, in fact, they give business to good number of lawyers also. So legal fraternity as a whole are really taken care of by these 53 companies. In public sector also, they employ people, they hire advocates. But I'm not talking about that because their hiring process is very different. They generally hire at one particular level and those people only get promoted within those companies. But lateral hiring can be seen only in the private sector. Then secondary employers are also there. Who are the secondary employers? Reinsurers. Reinsurers are not visible in open field. So many people who are not knowing about the insurance industry may not know that who are the reinsurers. But they are big pocket, deep pocket companies who operate at global level. And they provide insurance to insurance companies, not to the end customer. So we actually hedge our risk by paying some part of our premium to the reinsurers. They are really big corporates. They also hire law officers. Then there are insurance brokers. Many, the larger ones, they hire their own legal team. Corporate agents also. Many of these corporate agents are banks, cooperative sector banks, your public sector banks. The banks are there. So they are corporate agents. They also make the hiring for insurance business. Then TPAs are there, third-party administrators. They also hire few lawyers. IMFs generally don't hire advocates, but yes, the large ones may hire because they also get into litigation. Now coming further, then how much of hiring they make? Here I have taken into account only the private sector companies. I have not talked of, and this is just an estimate. This is not an official number. I'll qualify it. So large general insurance companies generally have a team of 100 to 250 law officers, and a bulk here actually handles MSET cases. Then mid-sized companies 50 to 100 and small ones 10 to 50. Life insurance, some large ones 25 to 40, not much. Mid-size 10 to 25 and small 5 to 10. This is the entire scope of law officers as employees of the insurance companies. So this is all about the topic. If time permits, Sanjay ji, with your permission, I do not know how good we are at the timing.
We have enough time.
Okay,
We are
so
really enjoying it because you have given us most, the people who are here listening to it, and the way I'm getting the questions on my YouTube, which is open in front of me, they are really enjoying it because they are seeing it as a really good career opportunity, which they were not aware of earlier. Actually.
yeah. In fact, I was also not aware about it 7 years back when I joined insurance industry.
And now you are leading. I said this in the beginning that I have seen, I don't want to name, I have seen, lawyers reaching at the zenith, at the top of the insurance companies with their sheer hard work.
No, since you have raised this topic, I'll tell everybody, the entire audience, that for first 9 years, roughly 10 years, I spent in courts, and 24/7 I was into courts. I'm a third generation lawyer in my family.
Yeah, your father is.
My father, even my grandfather, was associated with this field. And right from childhood, I have seen this, and I was fully into this. And after 10 years, when I went to this corporate side, I enjoyed this side also. But one thing I'm sure, that the first 10 years that I learned outside this corporate field, actually that really helps in shaping your career in the industry. So I have worked in two fields. Earlier, banking sector company was there. Now it is life insurance, mutual fund, everything. But the fundamentals remain the same, which you learn in the courts. So never undermine your experience on any side of the table. Both are complementary to each other.
I would like to add here something. I know many corporate, people like you, who are at the position in any of the insurance companies, they are coming back and doing once again starting.
Yeah, doing that. Yes. No,
we know many of them are there.
Yeah.
There. So I think we should close this slide now, so that we are on the screen. You are on the screen.
No. Quiz time means I'll just take 5 minutes. I'll just give some glimpse to audience, especially the young ones. I put some question here. There were 2 or 3 sample questions.
Please do.
So this is just scenario 1.
Please
just notice the dates.
Yeah.
20th January 2014, proposal for insurance received.
Yes.
I have named one company, forget about that.
Yeah. And
premium paid in cash. Premium paid in cash. 26th January, LI died. Now 27th January, that proposal which was made was accepted and policy was issued. What is the answer? Should the insurer pay the claim? It is for everybody just to think around. I know that I cannot get the answers on my screen. I don't know what answers are coming. Some people may be answering you, Mr. Sanjay. So
let us see. Let me see.
देख लीजिए कहीं कुछ आया हो answers.
But it takes a minute actually.
Okay.
Oh, a lot of answers have come.
Okay. So what do they say?
Then Saksham Tyagi says no, she should not get. Ashish Tiwari says no. Oh my God, so many answers are coming now. So Dhanshu Sethiji is saying yes. Shahnawaz also says yes. Then please
so it is not easy to answer. Yeah. So in nutshell, it is not easy to answer. No, I have added some more spice to it.
Okay.
The policy document which was issued.
Chaudhary says no. Aditya Shukla says no. Neetu Khanna says no.
Yeah.
And and a series of them are coming.
Now what happens that the policy document which was issued also said date of commencement, DOC, date of commencement as 20th January 2014.
So date of commencement of insurance is taken the date when the amount is received.
No, it is not taken as such.
No, I'm just saying in this particular case.
In this particular case. So
Yeah,
insurance company treated it to be 20th January.
So shall I give an answer to it?
So again, my question is that does the answers change? So since in this format, I don't think that
Sujay Patnaik says yes, he should get. Nippon Mehta says yes. Harshit says yes. Satvik.
So I know that many of the no's actually may have been converted into yes by looking into this additional facts.
Yes. AJ Kumar, Cherry Paul, Parth Kaushik.
Now coming to the answer, I'll explain the answer also.
So many of them.
And that is really to give you just an idea that how interesting this industry is. I mean, it is not a very, very boring industry. So I'm coming to the answer now.
Yes. So no, that's what was my answer also.
So what happens that the day on which the proposal was accepted, the subject itself was not there. The subject matter of the contract, the very life, was not even in existence. And the contract is completed when the proposal is accepted. So had he lived even for a single day more, as on the date of acceptance, had he been alive, then of course the claim would have been payable. But since he had died prior to that date, that means it was a non-est thing. Yeah. The agreement never came into place.
Purely legal. Now,
because one more thing, in Indian Contract Act, actually the acceptance has to be communicated also. Where is the question of communication when your proposer is dead? So this is how actually this was decided by the State Commission also, and that was decided in favor of the insurance company. Then coming to question 2, very, very small questions I have kept just to give it the one idea that what kind of cases we have.
Yes, 20th January policy was taken, 26th January goes missing. Policy lapse on 2007. 2008 nominee approaches the court, this Ellis died. 27th court declares. Okay, now this is an interesting question.
It is a common knowledge that 7 years disappeared, presumed to be dead.
Yes.
But how does it work legally? That also, I mean, these cases come to us. Like in Uttarakhand natural calamity, actually many people went missing.
Yes.
So in special cases, those who actually were missing, the state government, the local state government issued death certificates from them. But if there is no such presumed death certificate by any government authority, how does it work? This is what I have tried to show here.
Give us the answer.
So, answer, many people can try that.
No, a lot of them are there. I'm not.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
So, this is the answer. This was the case of LIC. All these questions are coming from the real litigation only. So they have decided two things here. That first, he will be presumed to be dead on the date he is, or somebody approaches the court to declare him to be dead, at least, or on the date of declaration, not prior to that. So many people feel, or they have this impression that he will be presumed to be dead with effect from the date when he went missing. That is not the case. And since it is an insurance contract, if he is presumed to be dead on the day somebody approaches the court for the declaration, which legal proceeding culminated into a formal declaration, then your life insurance policy should also be alive in force as on that date. Then only the question of paying the claim will arise. So going back to the date sheet, policy had lapsed on 20th January 2007. So the date on which he approached, the policy was nowhere in existence. So there is no question of paying the claim. So these are the hard facts which we face in this industry.
Every day.
Yes.
Okay. What will happen in this?
See the date and timing.
Yeah.
I mean, you cannot predict that what can happen, what is there for store from the God. I mean, this is the destiny. So what happened? So I've covered the answer also. Date of disbursement of loan.
Yeah.
The trigger for commencement of cover is disbursement of loan. Disbursement cannot happen before banking hours.
Yes.
And what happened? That he died on the date of disbursement at 5 a.m. So a stand can be taken that yes, when the person died before the commencement of the cover. So we repudiated the claim. And this is from our company. We don't know because the customer has not come to the court. I can confess.
Okay.
So this is all from my side.
One question Mr. Sudhanshu is asking. As for the first combination of dates in the first case, he says that, sir, need one clarification regarding quiz number 1. The answer would have been same for online policy.
Definitely. Because online policy is just you just make the proposal online.
Yes.
Acceptance happens subsequently.
Yes.
If some life insurance company is fast enough to make instant acceptance on the screen only, then definitely your cover will start from that time only. But that doesn't happen. Insurance companies generally take at least 1 day to communicate the acceptance or to process that proposal. So this is fine. So I think
we can close it now. This slides you can close so that we are on this. On the second question, lot of repeated questions are coming here. People are surprised. Then that means even a person is died, he's missing. You should continue paying.
Yes.
So this is what is the message. That is
the message. And that is why, in fact, I wanted to include that question in this presentation. Because this is something that is a presumption of law. That is not a fact. And presumption of law has to be backed by court's order. And that is what Supreme Court has clarified.
Even I remember very sad that in that Uttaranchal tragedy, we have, I think, 9 odd lawyers from Delhi were also there, and they all went missing. Their families were here. So I don't know what might have been done to the insurance policies, etc., because they were untraced. Those people were one of the lawyers I was also knowing.
So in that case, in those cases, what Government of India has done, and that was a very welcome step, that in all these calamities, generally instructions are given to the local bodies to take a confirmation from the respective states. So what happens, how does it work, that if somebody from say Odisha has gone missing, then their name has to be certified by Odisha government, and they will issue a certificate on the basis of local inquiry that this person had gone to Uttarakhand, Kedarnath, and he was there, he was supposed to be there on that particular date. On that basis of on the basis of that certificate from Odisha government, Uttarakhand government will issue a death certificate. And on the basis of which we actually processed, we opened a special window for processing that claim, all those claims, and all the insurance companies expeditiously processed their claims. Yes. Nobody had to suffer.
So there are one or two questions. This is a lengthy question. I'm reading it. Dear sirs, I have a very important question. For car insurance, it is, for example, once if you any car insurance and you are timely paying the insurance yearly. Now, if your car is hit and you call your car insurance policy guy, you yourself book your car for repair at the designated workshop. But in case you are not able to reach the workshop, it must be you to inform that the vehicle is not being presented for repair within 10 to 15 days. Else, in case if you are not able to go and present your car for any reason, then they treat it, the car is presented for repair and you cannot take the claim of insurance from the company. This is how the insurance company play something. So what the moot question, 1 second, I will repeat because I was reading it in a break laga ke padh raha tha main. The question is that what happens, let's say I am a single person, I have taken an insurance and my vehicle got an accident, I am injured, I am in the hospital, I come back after a month and then I report this accident and everything, and then I get the car to the repair. So they say that if you have not done it within the time, you're not eligible. As for the principle of natural justice, I think it should be entertained by the insurance company.
Definitely it should be entertained. But only thing I'll tell you that many insurance companies have their own set of rules, and they generally go by the policy contracts.
Correct.
You are correct. The facts that have been presented to me as an independent person, of course, I'll tell you that these claims must be entertained. And you have remedies. That is why what I told you in our presentation also, that as a customer of insurance products, you have several remedies. Although insurance companies have got very limited remedy against the customer, but customer has got multiple remedies against the insurance company.
Exactly.
You can use any of these remedies.
Exactly.
And you will be surprised to know that whenever we interact with the customers formally, we write in our communication only that you have the option of approaching the ombudsman.
Yes, exactly. And rather you prefer.
Yes.
The insurance companies prefer this because actually why? There are two reasons for that. One is your cost. It is a cost-effective thing for you.
Also, you don't have to pay any court fee. You don't have to pay a lawyer.
You need not to hire a lawyer. One. And second most important thing is what I presume and I feel is that these insurance ombudsmen are treating and dealing with the cases on day-to-day basis. And they become an expert. They know ins and out of insurance.
Yes.
So, I mean, I feel 90% of their judgments are quite. We all are aware that they are pro-consumers, but despite that, we can very well say that there is a technicality, and then they will be giving the right judgment. That is one. Now we have a lot of students, as I said, and many of the students, including Satvik Prithvi, has asked you to refer some insurance book because they are saying that after attending, I'll just read it. After attending Mr. Shukla's session, I've got a keen interest in insurance. So So just suggest some books if you could, sir.
No, truly speaking, Satvik, I don't know any book which can really cover the entire thing about insurance industry. There may be books, but of course, I have not seen any book which can comprehensively cover everything that we discussed today in our presentation. But yes, most of the time, what we have in our hands is the commentaries on different acts, maybe
Yes.
Insurance Act and all
Insurance
that.
Act and
So insurance manuals are there. But if you try to even Google these things, and if you download few things from the IRDA website, which is easily available, like the copy of Insurance Act, the copy of certain distribution regulations like corporate agent and all, and few things which Insurance Institute of India actually prescribes. They come out with few books. I do not know whether it is easily available in the market or not. I hope it is. It must be available. But truly giving an answer to your query is a bit difficult for me, because I have really not come across any comprehensive book on this.
But you have rightly said, Mr. Shukla, that we have got insurance journals. We have got detailed commentaries on insurance laws. Which are there. That is one. Now, Geetanjali Kapoor, she's a lawyer. She's asking, is there any journal with a regular court judgment updates in insurance? Like we have, various journals. Do you think that?
See, we used to subscribe one insurance cases journal. I have not seen it for last 3 years. Prior to that, we used to subscribe also. I think they have closed their shop. Because of the online thing, hardly any demand is there for that. And this is a very specialized industry.
Yes.
So most of the people generally go for MSCT cases. You do have a specialized journal.
MSCT, I think we have got many of them are there.
Yeah. MSCT journals are still there. But otherwise on life insurance and all the smaller segments, I don't think any journal is there. So I think it is better to rely on the online stuff. Manupatra and all that. We also refer to those sources for judgments.
Then now we have one of my, again, a student whom I know, Krishnakant Chaudhary. He is requesting you to please give us these slides. Please send it to me. I will forward it to
I don't mind giving it.
That is one. And second is, we will be having this entire session on YouTube also.
Okay.
So that anybody can take it. But anyways, Krishnakant, we will certainly forward it to you. Now, Sudhanshu ji is saying that, sir, a lot of new companies like Cover Drive, Auto, etc. are in market. Is it wise to have policy from them?
No, I will not comment on that. Sorry.
All right. So basically,
extremely sorry.
I will reply him.
Yeah.
Sometime
that you can reply.
Yeah. I think it is always advisable, to see I don't know these people actually, but you could first check the credentials, because as Mr. Shukla was saying initially, that the IRDA's one of the main objective is to see that the companies remain viable during the entire period. So see that and then decide. And the biggest word which you have said, that this is for the new upcoming generation. I am borrowing your word that it is a stable industry. It is an industry. Further, I would add one thing to it, that it is not only a stable industry, but it is in a very big way, growing industry. 2013, as you have just shown, sir, 2014, what was the amount of revenue this industry was generating? And within these 5 years, the amount is doubled.
Yeah, no doubt.
So that is the growth path of this industry. On the backdrop, one more thing we must understand, that this is the industry which is, as of now, in India, is in its takeoff stage. It has not still, have reached the sky.
Penetration is not even 4%. Not even 4%.
Only 4% of the people are covered. But one thing is there. Our government is very well known now these days for giving a good data. So if you Google today, so it will come 60% of the people are covered. That is not at all a correct data. The correct data is that we are only and only 4% of the people are covered under the insurance. So that is very sad. But, and there is, if we go to 20%, these companies will become very rich. So that's one more thing. Let me check if Bhumika, anything if you have to put across, sir.
So we have one question, that what changes did insurance broker regulation 2018 bring in the insurance framework?
See, the brokers, in fact, every time any regulation comes in place or it is amended or it is supplanted, every time the compliance procedures increase and increase many a times. So initially, say 10 years from now, actually brokers are quite free in managing their own affairs. But with changing times, especially 2018 onwards, actually many new things have been introduced for them. In fact, they have to take professional indemnity cover, which was not there. They are accountable for their own business. They have to seek insurance cover for themselves, so that if they go bust, if they enter into large scale mis-selling, then a claim can be made against them, and there is some back-to-back cover, insurance cover on their business, from which it can be compensated. So they are not free, and many restrictions. And many restrictions means if they have their own insurance company, means if they both of them, that is broker and the insurance company, belong to the same group of company, then the restrictions are manifold. So many restrictions. The employees cannot go from one company to another company. There are many restrictions. So I'm unable to explain all these things in such a short time. It's a very comprehensive
I will
regulation.
just add here.
But the main moot point is that only, that every time new regulation is coming, every time amendments are taking place, IRDA is tightening its noose on the insurance companies as well as the distributors. It is as simple as that. And they are being audited very frequently by IRDA nowadays.
Now, one question has come from Atul Kapoor and Company. They are the lawyers. Question is: do you think that it is legally in order for the claimant to make surveyor a party in their disputes with insurers?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Even I would say so.
Your claim is against the insurance company. They can appoint another surveyor.
Yes. And that you can otherwise seek for. If you want that this surveyor is not doing the right thing, you can very well approach the company and ask them to appoint another fresh surveyor. One thing, there are many surprises to the people that you have mentioned, that 50% of the money which comes as a premium goes to the government for investment. So people are really surprised about it.
Not the entire premium, exclude the ULIP part, whatever comes as a premium for unit linked policies that are kept separately. But yes, the rest of the premium goes.
We have got Gurmeet Anand. I know him. He's a very important person. So he has also given he has congratulated you for giving such an informative session.
Thanks
all information relating to insurance has been shared wholeheartedly. He's thankful to you.
Thanks a lot.
And then we have there are many questions are coming. Many such messages are there. I'm not reading all, so my thanks to them that they have also participated. Without them, such webinars, seminars are not of any value. Now I would request Bhumika, if you have any other question, then to thank sir, I will call Karthik. Karthik will be joining us from Bombay. He has joined it.
Okay, great.
Bhumika, you have something to ask?
No, sir, I think all the questions were very well taken and answered. The audience are very well satisfied.
Uh, yeah, there are so many. We have got messages, sir. Thank you very much. And certainly, I would like to say that it was really an enlightening session you have given. And I again, once again, assure everybody that we'll be sharing the slides. I would request now Karthik. Karthik is a very dynamic lawyer now, I would say, because he has just completed his law. He is in our team and he sits at Bombay, sir.
Okay,
So Karthik,
great.
please.
Thank you, Sanjay sir. All right. So good evening, one and all present here. My name is Karthik, and I'm grateful to be delivering this vote of thanks on behalf of BSK Legal today. Taking this opportunity, I would first like to thank you, Mr. Anurag K Shukla, sir, for taking out your time and imparting with us your views and thoughts relating to the legal careers and insurance industry, and showing us a path into a field which some may not have been well versed with. A wholehearted thanks to you, sir, to join our webinar and share with us your time and shedding light into this subject matter, making this webinar a great success. I'm sure we'll all put this knowledge to good use. I would also like to extend my gratitude to our mentor and a well-known advocate, Mr. Sanjay K Chadha, for organizing this wonderful webinar and inviting Mr. Anurag K Shukla, giving us all this amazing opportunity to learn about the legal careers in the insurance sector, and for also sharing us with your knowledge and the expertise regarding the said matter. Mr. Sanjay K Chadha, along with his law firm BSK Legal, have been taking amazing strides in spreading legal awareness among the law students and common people alike on his various social media platforms. Thank you once again, Sanjay sir and your team BSK Legal for your continuous efforts in helping us. We are most grateful. Lastly, like Sanjay sir said, I would like to also thank my fellow mates and our media partners who attended our webinar, because without you guys, it's not possible. I'm certain that each one of us is a little more aware regarding the legal aspects of the insurance sector. With this, we conclude our two-day insurance-related webinar event. Thank you all for joining us.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, Anuragji. It was really a wonderful event, and we are really enlightened today about, and many of the law students, as I'm getting the messages, you could also read, anybody can read it. It's an open secret that they are really now have interest in this field. So that's what was the objective, which is
indeed, sir.
It is a pleasure for us also
of the
to
session.
share
I'm sorry
these
to
things with
interrupt
all
you.
of you. Yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, sir. Because of your session, I'm pretty sure a lot of us have developed a keen interest, because I myself have had a blind eye towards this. But now, regards to your session, I see there's great potential in this particular sector. I'm sure I'm going to take a look at this.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
great. Thank you very much. Thank you, Bhumika. Bhumika is always a great help to us. And so kind of you, sir. Now I would request Digvijay to please close the session. Thank you very much, sir.